What is up, you guys? It is Brad here, and welcome back to another episode of Ask Brick. I feel like it has been so long since I made an episode of Ask Brick because I've been just like absolutely crazy busy, and one of the first questions is why I was lacking on videos, but I'm very excited to be back today, so I'm super excited to jump right into it. Elephant in the room right off the bat, this is actually a brand new table. I just got this for my LEGO room. I actually have a vlog coming out, I think, next week, talking about me rearranging the LEGO room, so I've just installed this table and reset up the camera, so if the framing looks off, I think it looks okay, but if it looks off, I'll notice in editing, I'll be pissed off, and I'll fix it for the next video. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it as is because I've got a lot of questions. Because I have not done one of these episodes in a few weeks, so we have a lot to catch up on. The very first question is actually from Bricks, and it is based on my absence. It is Ask Brick, why have you not been uploading recently? And they asked this question a few weeks ago on Instagram, I think, and that is because pretty much right after BrickFair Virginia, or like right around BrickFair Virginia, I stopped uploading. There was no new, there was a bunch of stories from Virginia, but then there was no new reels, there was no videos. The vlogs for BrickFair were delayed, the vlogs for New York City were delayed, the reels for all those things were also delayed, and there was no regular scheduled content. And basically what happened was I underestimated myself. When I was getting ready to go to Virginia, I added a day extra to the trip last minute to go to New York City, and because I was so busy and planning everything so last minute, what I ended up doing was not getting a chance to pre-edit and schedule a bunch of content for when I went on that trip, because I was in my head also partially thinking was like, okay, on August 1st, it's release day, the meet and greet, it's a very timely day, I will get that video filmed on Thursday, we'll get to my Airbnb in Virginia and edit it Thursday night and upload it first thing on Friday. I didn't do that. I spent the entire day in New York instead, then drove to the Airbnb and got there very, very late, like I'm talking like 2 or 3 a.m., slept in, and then went right to the convention center and did that until Monday, essentially, and then got sick. I actually talked about this in my vlog channel. I got dehydrated after BrickFair Virginia, or like during BrickFair Virginia, got dehydrated, had a medical episode, I guess you could say, in Washington on the Monday, where I actually passed out in front of the White House because I was so dehydrated and had heat exhaustion because it was just so hot in Virginia. And then Monday I was pretty ill. Tuesday I was really ill, came back to Canada. Wednesday, Thursday, like I was just trying to recover. And then Friday I was on set all day for work and then was gone until Sunday night. And then Monday I was here, and then Tuesday I immediately left to go back home, where I was there until Sunday. So that basically brought me to the middle of August, and I was working off just my laptop. So I was editing content, but I was also trying to recover from being sick and stuff like that. So it really took a lot out of me. Like getting dehydrated at the LEGO convention really like screwed me up. I guess just when I was at BrickFair Virginia, I didn't drink enough water for how hot it was at the convention, and then when I started to feel not so great on Sunday night, I just like chalked it up to the fact that I was not sleeping enough as much as I should have been. And then on Monday morning, I really didn't feel good again, but I had an itinerary I wanted to keep. And then when I went into Washington and yeah, was just walking around in the hot sun and was drinking water, but like just not enough for how hot it was and how much I was sweating. Yeah, I ended up unfortunately passing out on the White House lawn, and it was like super embarrassing. Nobody even helped me or anything like that. I was just kind of laying there for like 40 minutes because I was so sick, and then had to haul myself to a CVS to buy like Gatorade and water and Advil because I was in rough shape. But yeah, it was not a really good experience, and I've talked about like drinking water at LEGO conventions before just because it's important to stay hydrated. But it was one of those things that I didn't think it would happen to me until, well, it happened to me. So I was one of those unfortunate ones who did get dehydrated at a LEGO convention. If I go to Virginia next year, any other LEGO convention I go to in the future, I will be making sure that I drink my water because I do not want to be dehydrated again because it was really not a good experience. This is a really good one. This is from JRod7409. Ask Brick, I've been trying to figure out what is the best color shelves to get for my LEGO sets. I would have to say, but by far, the best color shelves that you could get for your LEGO sets would be white, just like I've done here. I think white are the best color you can get for your LEGO shelves just because they look absolutely stunning, and the Lego sets really pop on them. I've seen other people have Lego collections where they use brown or something like that, and you just can't see the bricks as nicely. I actually, in my old Lego studio, used to have a brown table where I would film my Ask Brick episodes instead of this white one that I have now, and it was not even as nice, and even in the set reviews, like, it was not nearly as nice as the white that I have right now. I feel like with other colors of shelves, like, sometimes you could take away from what you're actually looking at. If it's a weird color or dark or something like that, you'd miss a lot of sets, but when it's just white, it feels like these sets are against the wall. It kind of, to me, feels like they're floating here in the Lego room, and I just think it gives it a much more nice and modern look. And yeah, when you look at my Lego sets, they really just pop, especially all the color that Lego is. You know, there are some black here as well, like lots of black and dark colors, but there are a lot of bright colors. So when they're just against white, it just really pops and looks really sharp. But if it was against another color, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. So if you are on the fence, I would definitely go with white because you will not be disappointed. I've known people over the years who have gotten other colors of Lego shelves in the past and they are disappointed in them. They do want to convert, and even when I'm watching like other people on like the internet and stuff like that, when I see like non-white shelves or like dark shelves, to me it just like takes away. It makes the video feel darker, it makes it feel less professional. So I'm a big fan of the white shelves, and especially if you don't have any shelves yet, I would just save yourself the hassle right now and invest in some white shelves because you will not be disappointed. Speaking of New York, this one was actually asked on my New York City vlog. This one's from Garrett Smith 2250. Ask Rick, did you get to do the VR experience in store to get the free Lego set at the 5th Avenue location? So the answer is no. I haven't actually had a chance to do that yet. So what Gareth is actually referring to is the Brick Lab experience at the Lego store, and it's basically an immersive experience that combines Lego building and digital play. From my understanding, the Lego store makes a little bit of a story. You walk in and you do this like digital and building experience, and you get a Lego set with it. I don't think it's that expensive. I was gonna do it when I was in New York City in 2022, but I just didn't have a chance to. I didn't have time. And then this time I never even looked into it because it was just such a crazy day. But no, I haven't done it. It would be really cool to do. So I do not have that set, and maybe next time I go to the 5th Avenue Lego store, I will have to check it out. This next one's also from my New York City vlog. This one's from Mini Forced Shot. Ask Brick, can you change the arm color on the Build a Minifigure Factory minifigures when you're making them? So no, unfortunately you can't. So these are all my Build a Minifigures that I've got at various Lego stores over the years, and as you can see, they all have the exact same white arms. The reason for this is at the Build a Minifigure section, you basically are just designing the torso, and they are only printing on the front of the torso and the back of the torso. So you don't get to customize your legs or your face or hair pieces or accessories or anything like that. You're just doing the torso. The torsos do only come in white, and that is just to make it ease of printing. Like, they're not having to line things up because they're printing multiple different figures at a time. So it's way easier for them if they just print all white Lego figures, and it of course appears on the design so much nicer. They do have options though where you can like add color and stuff like that to your torso. So this Barcelona figure here, you guys can see I've added a full design on at the front so you barely can see any white. And then this one here that I made in Edmonton, I actually used the paint feature to paint it black. So it is possible if you want to kind of change the color of the minifigure torso, at least just the front. But then as you can see on the sides, they're still just white. You're not able to change that. And the only way you could change out the arms on the minifigures would be if you came home and did that yourself in your own Lego collection, but you can't get any custom printing or any custom colors or anything like that. This next question is from Sync5121. Ask Brick, what is your biggest Moc or Lego set? So I'll actually answer that question in both ways. So for the biggest Lego set, this is actually kind of a two-parter. I would say my actual largest Lego set here is the Lego Titanic. This is like the most expensive set that I have and is the one with technically the second largest piece count in my Lego collection, although I consider it to be the largest Lego set that I own because, like you guys can see, it's massive, and the runner-up would of course be the Roman Colosseum. But technically, the actual largest Lego set that I own is the Lego World Map here. So this is the World Map. I've actually got it hanging in my dining room, and this has got over 10,000 Lego pieces, so that's why it is technically the largest Lego set ever. But you guys can see it's pretty small, and the only reason that it is the largest set ever is because it is all just made up of these tiny 1x1 studs. So technically, while it is the largest Lego set by pieces, I don't really consider it my largest ever Lego set because I think that title should be reserved for the Lego Titanic. And in terms of Lego Mocs, my largest Lego Moc ever is definitely my Bricks Tower complex here in my Lego City. It is a multi-story, multi-building complex basically, where I've got two big towers there. It's got a school, it's got a Lego store, it's got a hotel, a production studio, an event space, a sushi restaurant, a clubhouse, a Lego room, room. Like, there is so much going on in this tower here, and I'm not even counting the fact that it's actually attached to the pet shop mock, which it is attached. I actually blew the wall out in between, so everything is all connected there, but I'm not even counting those pieces because that wasn't really a mock. That was just me adding on to the Lego set. But yeah, this is definitely my largest Lego mock ever. This next question here is actually about the BrickWorld Garage Sale, which we had a discussion about in a past episode of Ask Brick. Darth GBC363 said, "Ask Brick, what if this second garage sale was in the parking lot out of other people's cars and call it a trunk sale? You could do this early Friday morning so it's cooler and it's spread out and there's more room, or you could even do it on the north side in the shade of the building." I have actually heard of Lego conventions doing truck sales before. I think there's a few fair reasons why they'd want to avoid doing that. One is because it's the weather dependent, so if it's pouring rain in Chicago that day, there goes the event that people were looking forward to, so they're scrambling last minute to try and plan when they could have just had a better plan to begin with. I think it is a little bit of a safety issue. People at the garage sale in Chicago can go a little nuts. They're not really paying attention to the other people around them, they're just trying to get the best Lego deal, so I can just see people running across the parking lot, not looking for cars or at traffic or anything like that, and could be a little bit of a disaster. I know I personally don't want a bunch of random strangers leaning up against my car if they're taking a look at Lego sets and stuff like that, and it can get really hot in Chicago, so I feel like there are just a few more like cons to that idea than pros. But I think they should do a second garage sale. Like, BrickFair does it. I've been to BrickFair now. I just experienced that. It was amazing. I've got a video about that coming soon as well, because the differences between the Chicago yard sale and the Virginia yard sale were absolutely nuts and very, very noticeable. So yeah, they definitely could do more. I don't think that would necessarily work, but I definitely think they should add a second garage sale. And the way they do it, where they keep everybody locked out and then like make us all file in single fashion, like that didn't happen at BrickFair, and the yard sale was way smoother. So yeah, I don't know if that idea would work necessarily, but BrickWorld definitely has to do some new things to change up their garage sale, because it's certainly not working. Although it's better than previous years, it's not currently working, and I will be pissed if they decide to charge for it next year. I think that's ridiculous. I'm already paying for the ticket to the convention. That's one of the coolest events, and I don't understand why they'd make you pay to, and I think that would deter a lot of people. I'm still paying, but I'd be not happy about it. But yeah, more discussion about the BrickWorld yard sales definitely to come, because it's got a ways to go. All right, we've got one last question here. Mr. Viscom78 says, "Ask Brick, what would be your strategy if you brought loose Lego bricks? How would you make the most of it?" So I've done this in the past, and I actually made a video on it kind of recently about what I do when I get used Lego bricks. But just to quickly summarize, basically what I do is I'll either get the bricks and I'll, if they're in assembled sets, I'll disassemble them, and if they're already unassembled, that's perfect. I'll take a look at like the condition of the bricks. Some of them are sometimes dirty and might need a wash. Others look like they're in perfect condition. If somebody's built it once and put it on display and it's not even dusty, I'm not going to waste my time washing the bricks. So once all the pieces are disassembled and I've like evaluated, I'm like, do they need to be washed? Yes or no. If they do need to be washed, then I will wash them, and if no, they don't, then it depends on what I'm going to use those bricks for. If it is a lot of Lego collections where all the pieces are kind of grouped together with what set they are, I'll probably bag them up, put them in my closet until I get a chance to build them. If it's just a bunch of loose generic parts, I'll probably either dump them into my bin of Lego to be sorted, or I'll actually take the time to sort it right then and there and put all the pieces in my Lego collection. But that's kind of like my strategy. It really just depends on what the items are and stuff like that. A lot of times I'm buying sets, but then sometimes I am just buying like random loose bricks. So it really just depends, and as I said, I go into way more depth into a video I made very recently if you want to make sure you check that one out. Alright you guys, and that actually brings us to the very end of this week's episode of Ask Brick. Thank you all once again for your patience, because it's been so long since I uploaded one of these episodes, but it was really fun to hop back into things today and really dive into some of your questions. So if you guys do have any more questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, because I'll be doing more episodes of this very soon. And I always love talking to you guys and answering your questions here on video. So thank you guys again so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you all here in the next one.